So Neo's great and all, but like, why didn't you sing?
That's how you start the interview?
I was waiting for it the entire time.
Great and all, but why don't you sing? Well, actually, I'm starting an album. Yeah. I've been working quietly, by myself for a while, but I think now is the perfect time to call, some of the powers that be, some of my friends around to help me pull it together and make it as epic as possible. So that's it. Yeah, I am. You'll get it. I'm glad that you're.
I wanted to see it in the movie too. He had the guitar the entire time. I was waiting for you to bust something out.
It was a very, very historical film, and I wanted something that had nothing to do with any kind of elements of Hairspray. I didn't want to sing in it. I didn't want to have any kind of musical elements to it. So, but yeah, it's coming very, very soon.
Speaking of the historical element, how familiar were you with the story before you signed on?
Well, I grew up in a small town called LaGrange, Georgia, which is an hour south of Atlanta, 45 minutes southeast of Tuskegee. So I grew up with a very, very rich heritage of the knowledge of these airmen and what they did. Tuskegee University and Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse, all these HBCUs are sort of our version in the South of Ivy League aspirations. There's such a rich heritage with them. So they implemented that knowledge to us of who these amazing men were.
So was this something you sought out when you heard that they were making a Red Tails movie?
No, absolutely. Let me tell you. I'm a very, very, very spiritual person, and a spiritual advisor of mine. His name is Bishop Wayne Jackson. He called me. He was like, "There's about to be something amazing that's going to happen in your life. He's telling me all these things." I'm like, okay, I get it, and I got the script, and I had a dream. It was not no Hollywood BS, but I really had a dream that I was going to be in this film. I saw myself in the movie. I saw myself in the cockpit of the movie, and like 8 months later, the audition came up, and I went into the audition, totally bombed. It was just so bad. And Anthony and Rick, they won't say. Anthony Hemingway was a director, and Rick is a producer, and also George. They won't say that it was as bad as it was, but I know it was just horrible.
What'd you do?
I was, you get over prepared and you get over excited. It's like going out on a date and practicing the things that you're gonna say. Like, I'm gonna get her with this. I'm gonna get her, and you get in there and you start fumbling because you're so excited and the emotions are so there. And I was overexcited, and to say the least, it was bad. But I called him like a week later after they had told me they were going to go another way, and I said, "Listen, God told me I'm going to be in this movie, and I'm going to be in this movie." So I'm talking to Rick McGallum and Anthony Hemingway on the phone like this. They were like, "Okay, like who is this dude? Get the crazy dude off of line one." And I was at that time speaking at different high schools in the Southeast about basically pursuing what you want to do in life and reaching your dreams no matter at what cost, no matter at what expense. And I never told anybody that I didn't get the role because I was so keen on what I had seen and the faith I had in myself and the faith I had in God. And when that happened, about 2.5 weeks later into the new year, of 2010, Rick, Anthony called me and they said, "I don't know what we did, I don't know what you did, I don't know how this happened, but you got the role." And so that's my story of how I got on Red Tails.
And was it always the role of Joker?
It was not always the role of Joker. Joker wasn't even originally written in the script. It was a tactic that I implemented in the original character. It was written as suicide. And I saw a lining that the film needed, and they were gracious enough to allow me to explore that. And I played into that linear, humorous, sort of levity of the film, and I created, what is now, what they deem as Joker.
So what was the first thing you did after you found out you did get the role?
I called my mom And then I think I called Bishop Jackson, and then after that, I was just jumping up and down, raving, hollering. It was just, you know, it was at a point in time in my life where it was not the best time. So news like that, in the mood of the film, also, it was something that you fight for. You want these types of roles, and you know, it's been about 2.5 years, 3 years since Hairspray, and I always want roles that consumer audience in every way. Make them laugh, make them cry, make them think, make them appreciate the art that's going into it, have them entertain on all fronts. There's not a lot of those movies. So when I got this, it was just a godsend, it was a blessing.
Yeah, but then you get it, and then does that feeling set in like, oh my God, I got it? Now, what if I can't pull it off?
No. It was never about not being able to pull it off. The only concern I had was if the actual Tuskegee Airmen would be honored in the way that they should be honored. That was my only thing. You know, so, and that happened. You know, when I see Roscoe Brown, Bill Holloman, he passed away, a couple others passed away, and when I was able to talk to them when they were on set, and it really felt like they were honored. You know, they really felt honored.
Are there any of them specifically in your characters in the movie?
Oh man, when you go around, we had blueprints of, you know, the personalities and the types of people that they were. So I was able to pick. I was like, I want to do this type of thing. I want to do this type of. He would have did this, and there was a lot of times when we looked at pictures, it was like, I think he's this type of person, and you know, and I took that role of being, you know, love this.
Did you develop a backstory for Joker at all?
Well, I've set him up from the South. I wanted to pay homage to my hometown, so I set him up from Georgia. We never specified where exactly, but there were a lot of the airmen from the southern region. So that was good for me. I patterned his tone, his dialect after my uncles and, you know, my cousins. You know, so it's dope.
That's a really meaningful role to you then.
Absolutely.
Between family, heritage, everything.
Absolutely. It's everything. It's everything. Yeah.
So then what happened when Anthony came in? Did he have you guys rehearse at all? Just do table reads?
You know what? I didn't like Anthony the first week of shooting because I don't know if you heard, but we did a boot camp. And this boot camp was at the middle end of a Prague winter. Now, anybody that knows what a Prague winter is, it's like, you know, like you see a polar bear, you see his toenails. It's like right there in between the polar bear's toenails and the toe. That's how.
I don't think Prague's going to appreciate that.
but that's how cold it is. It's like you're in the bottom of the coldest part of the winter, and we're in this tent, no bigger than a regular modern day house living room. It's 8 of us. Bed. We're getting woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning by M80s, eating food that we have no idea to this day what it is. And it's 5 degrees outside, snowing. Middle of the night, 9-mile hikes. It was ridiculous. There was times where we thought, well, this is... So
for our last really moody lit question, what are you working on next? What do you want to come your way?
I already said that I'm working on an album right now. I don't know what it's going to be titled. I don't know what it's going to be called, but I'm going to release a song really soon. And I did a film called The Boys of Abu Ghraib, which chronicles these soldiers that go over to Iraq and they check on these insurgents that have been potentially wrongly accused of the crimes that they have committed or been accused of, and this sort of journey to there and see how that is with our modern day American soldiers, you know, how that went down. So it's called The Boys of Abu Ghraib. It'll be a Sundance Festival type of film.